Let your mind go and your body will follow.
Is there a ticking clock on when we should be able to do this? Because I mean, you know, at the beginning of our discussion, we're talking about Nibiru in this orbit.
Yeah.
Should we be there by the time of its return, or is that even a factor? Is that even anything we need to worry about?
Some people have said
maybe not worry, but be aware of. Is it something we need? Yeah.
Well, the day the Nibiru was supposed to return has already gone. Like a lot of people, but then what happens is there are many people that be like, oh, well, we had the date wrong. It's in a few years from now, right? So I'm not about dates at all. And I'm just about living in the moment and trying to teach people the tools to do so. And then there's a lot of people, including some scriptures that allude to Nibiru actually exploded. And then there's individuals that think that we are in a binary star system and Nibiru is actually rotating around a red dwarf, which is a dormant, you know, basically a fizzled out star that our sun is currently rotating around. So these are the different theories. I only present the theories because no one knows the actual truth. Now, in regards to worrying about it coming back, our planet has been around for quite some time. And if Nibiru existed, it's come across many, many times. And if the reality is that they actually came to the Earth every time that it came around, well, the Earth obviously didn't get destroyed. They came here and they mined the gold, right? So I don't think that we're in store for any cataclysm when it comes to Nibiru. Most of my focus is more on just the evolution of consciousness. And this story of Nibiru is just one of many stories of our ancient history. There's other stories of our galactic origins. So either we were seeded one time and all these stories of different origin stories of humanity are the same story, but with different names of these beings, or this has happened many times, that there's been a recycling and a reset of humanity on Earth, and different star beings have come here in order to experiment with us.
So if we want to start expanding our consciousness, how does one start? I'm obviously I know very little about it. I do try to meditate, but I was dealing with stress at work and started doing mindful meditation. I found that it was helpful. So how does a guy like me get started?
Well, I would say that, meditation is good, but ultimately, what is the consciousness evolution? It's really getting to a place where we release a lot of traumas, because we come from a place of trauma and emotional triggers. We respond to people and we react very quickly. We can get triggered and offended very easily. And most of those come from our traumas, many of which come from our childhood, right? Some of which can be argued come from our past lives. So I would say tools and techniques that allow us to release traumas so we can be more present and have joy within. The more joy you cultivate within yourself, not excitement. Excitement is something external to you that makes you happy and excited. Joy is something that's internal, that's just this happiness that comes from you. And I would say that, being a traumatized kid myself that went through some really traumatic experiences that dimmed my light and made it that I wasn't able to be joyful, doing things that allowed me to release those, allowed me to be at a state where I basically have reverence for myself, love for myself and others. So to be like more concise, I'm going all over the place here, inner joy, cultivating inner joy, loving yourself unconditionally to a point where you can love others and not being emotionally triggered by others is the first step to evolving our consciousness. It's not about external information. It's not about escapism and trying to get somewhere into a point of enlightenment so that you can feel some inner peace. It's about doing the work. And part of the work is releasing what no longer serves us. And many of those things are traumas. As a child, I was molested as a child. It literally screwed me over, and it took me my whole life to basically release those traumas. Most of my experiences came from my traumas as a child. I went to multiple plant medicine ceremonies, and I also went to 10-day Vipassanas, which are 10-day silent meditation retreats. And those things right there were the tools that I utilized that helped me release my traumas and get to a point where I started evolving my consciousness.
I'll have a decaf coffee.
I'll have a decaf espresso.
I'll have a double decaf cappuccino. Do you have any decaffeinated coffee ice cream?
I'll have a half double decaffeinated half cap with a twist of lemon.
I'll have a twist of lemon.
I'll have a twist of lemon.
Yeah, I'll have a twist of lemon.
I'll have a twist of lemon.
I'll have a twist of lemon.